Hello out there, Frankie Day here. Welcome to the Frankie Day Show featuring yours truly, Frankie Day. That was a little kickoff song called Dick Tracy, the eye-opener and the eye-opening tune for tonight's video for Sunday. Okay, guys, I'm in, let's take it for the last video I did a while ago. Went ahead and got the Victor all painted white. It's all nice and everything. I'll let it dry over there. And things dry quite nicely. Let that white cure for another day or so before I'll be able to get to it anymore. So tomorrow, I think tomorrow, like I should have the final reveal for it. So white went on pretty nicely, and I'm gonna do a little bit of just a little bit of weathering, a little wash here and there on it, and be good as new after that. Okay, guys, you're probably wondering this big boy right next to me on my right shoulder here. This is a 1978 Monogram B29. The old Super Fort. I want to clean this up a little bit, guys. I forgot how big this thing used to be. It's a big airplane. And well, there's a lot of room, guys. So you're probably wondering what kind of a bomber got next to me over here. It's my famous B-29 Super Fort. Stationed in Chengdu in China. One of the first of the super forts that attacked the coast of Japan before they started building a lot of super fortresses out there in Saipan and Marianas Islands and Tinian and all through there. Okay, we got 6 viewers right here. I'm going to bounce back and forth on these windows right here. I'm going to see if this chat's working on YouTube here. Because if I start hearing some beeping going on, that means the chat's been started. And like I say, guys, it's a bloody shame I can't get the chat worked on this window right here. Some kind of security measure is mentioned for, but my brother will be here tomorrow, so we'll get this thing all squared away. And we'll get these hangouts shaking like the way they're supposed to be. Okay, guys, I'm going to go back and while you're looking at this B-29 over here, I'm going to go back and check and see if there's a Facebook on the chat, on the Facebook. And none there. Check out the other windows. I got too many windows over here. See where I did while I'm at. Here we go. Yeah, so far no chat yet, guys, on this Monday here. I'm quite sure that some chat be going on right here. If I hear some beeping going on, I know that the chat on YouTube, on Facebook, has been initiated. Okay, guys, I got so far. I got 3 builds. 1, 2. Yeah, I got 3 builds on my belt. Good tip for my commenter last week. I put a little shroud over my light over here. This is going to be gone, guys, because during this winter months, I'm going to be taking down a lot of this paint and stuff out of here. I'm going to start rearranging my model building here because I'm growing out of this little space. Because when I first started working here about 2 or 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I should say, I had pretty well set up right here if I can actually turn my back and work over here. That's why I had that light over there. But now, since I got a computer right here, I got lights all around here. I won't need that waste light no more. But I'm going to save that light and put it somewhere else. But I'm going to change this everything around here. Get this big light out of here, and get some decent lighting in here. And so I got a lot of work to do during the winter months when it gets here, because I'm going to be pretty busy back here between working models and getting this man cave squared away, so I can have some room. Got this old B29. I found her down there in my basement. I had her covered up with a trash can liner. And so I'm doing a little bit of cleaning up on it. I built this thing ages ago. Oh, I'll say I probably built this baby 15, 20 years ago. And you ain't going to believe how much this kit cost back in 1978. A whopping $12, gang. That's $12. That's how much this Super Fortress cost at the time. Now you can get them eBay, 50, 60 bucks on up. Give or take, maybe, if you're very, very lucky. No one wants a bid, don't want the kit in general. Maybe I'll pick up a kit like that about 30 bucks. But they run around $50 on up. So I haven't seen any lately in the hobby shops lately. And so therefore, these are kind of hard birds to get if Monogam still makes these things. To say the least, this is the most detailed B29 I've ever had in my life. When they designed this kit, there's no stones uncovered in this one. Gives you a choice of 3 different liveries. Either it could be the Nola Gay or Boxcar, or typical Super Fort of the Island Hopping campaign. The Pacific Pioneers, they call them. Beautiful airplane they are. When I was a little boy, guys, I seen B-29s as I was a little kid growing up. And these things are so top secret at the time, you couldn't get near them. You can see them at a distance in the field because you can't help without looking at big old silver ships looming on the tarmac out there, and you got sentries out there walking like a sentry post back and forth, walking around and make sure that you got no spies out there and junk going on. I remember I asked my dad, I said, Pop, like go down and take a look at that B-29. I said, oh, no. You can't go there, son. Can't go there. Them things were top secret. Ever since they dropped the A-bomb, they're top secret. They're pretty much top secret during the closing months of the war, because they were new. And everything on these things, B-29s were very, very top secret. You had your gun sights were all automatically computerized, and Jesus, this thing was pressurized. This thing was the most advanced airplane of its time, and it took about a good 4 years just to get this thing flyable, just in the war with. And there was a lot of problems with the B-29 at first, during high altitudes, going up 40,000 feet on a bomb run, and gun blisters popping out, and guys getting sucked outside the airplane from the blisters. But the B-29 was a can-do airplane. It was a very beautiful airplane of its time. And This year's a nice kit, though. Smaller did an excellent job of this thing. And I got about 2 of these in my stash right now, 1/48 scale ones. If I ever build another one of these, I'm going to put bare metal foil on it. That right there will really fill the bill. This paint sure is oxidized, though. I think I used Model Master on this thing. Model Master aluminum. Buffing and non-buffing, and it's lost a lot of its sheen. I remember when I first painted this thing shined like a mirror. And it's getting old. And I like it like that. It looks like it's just oxidizing out in the hot sun. That's what they did all day. Like, see out in the hot sun out there. It don't take long for the sunlight and salt air to cause oxidation in polished aluminum. And polished aluminum, you got to keep on top of it. And you got to be able to keep everything polished up. And this will be it. Anyway, I'll get that thing all polished up, guys, and I'm going to probably hang it up somewhere in here and find room for it. I just saw it down, sit down at the base. I said, what the hell is that laying there? I thought it was one of my newest projects. Went down there and found it. So, my God, what the hell is that? Wonder how long that thing has been laying down there. And so I'm up here to clean up. So it'll take up some drying time on the Avro Vulcan. And also my B29 over there, her little 1/72 scale twin brother. All righty, guys. Okay, this kind of been kind of like a sluggish day for me today. I wasn't feeling too good when I got up. I must have caught a cold or some kind of a sinus thing going on. It's a lot of harvest time out here this time of year in Ohio. And it stirs up a lot of goddamn pollen. You get that stuff in you like that, boy, it just you get up in the morning, you feel like you're rougher than a cob. But tomorrow I'll probably feel a lot better. And so stay tuned for I'll be prepared for that Vulcan too. I'll be getting that Vulcan going. And kind of revealing that. And I'll play a couple of jolly tunes after a while, fellas. Okay, keep you guys on your toes a little bit here and there. So far, nothing new shaking around the house here. Everything's pretty much the same. I've been working on the Vulcan and the B29. They're such easy builds, I figured that I could have them done it. I don't like to rush paint. I like to let it dry naturally. And that Vulcan's come out real nice. I'm afraid to handle it right now because it's pretty well. It's a little tacky. It's a little tacky. And but tomorrow morning, it should be nice and hard and dry. I go ahead and apply the wash and decals on it. Remove the maskings around the windows. Get the tires painted. Right, she's ready for the 617 squadron. If I get started on that B29, probably tomorrow night, I'll start doing the decals on it. I think I found some decals for it. I was rummaging through my stash pile a while ago, and I think I found some suitable decals that'll fit that. I've already got 2 stars already, so the other ones they match pretty well. So I'm pretty well set there. As for color identification codes and squadron codes, I don't know. I'll have to do some research here and there, but that's down the road. That'll be done probably this Wednesday. Okay. Did a little work on the 80 Sky Raider over here. I got the die brake assembly done on it. And this thing's a functional model. Works pretty well. Those old Revell kits, they were nice kits back in those days, guys. You know, we're lucky we had them. We're kids, and we didn't know any better about accuracy and everything else. And the rivets, we loved the rivets back in those days. I mean, I loved an airplane full of rivets because it made you feel like, hey, those things steel. But Excuse me, guys. This thing is done coughing. And there's a lot of plastic back in those days. There's nothing to compare it to. There's nothing. All the molds are done by hand. There's no computer stuff back in those days as opposed to nowadays. I think a lot of young modelers in general spoiled rotten to the core with all these new state-of-the-art airplanes and all the photo etch and resin sets comes with it. We didn't have that stuff. It came out of the box. That's what it's going to look like out of the box. You see what you get. And yep, you got what you got, and you see what you get. Oh, okay, I was taking inventory the other day in my stash pile, and I got to reorganize my stash. I got a lot of stuff I'm just jiggling around, and I don't want to make sure all this weight don't get unbalanced because you only have a stockpile crash. I don't want none of that to happen. What makes it bad is when those kits are opened up and they crash. I got all the parts come out. Oh my God. You don't know what kit goes in what, so you gotta keep an eye out on that stuff. So far, I haven't heard no beeps on Facebook, no chat going on. Boy, it's a shame. Can't get my chat going. I think I'm gonna check that Facebook right here again, guys, see if we get the chat going on here. And I had nothing going on here. Yeah, nothing shaking right there. So we'll keep the show as it goes. Okay, guys. I feel like getting do some cleanup of this B29 a little bit, and I can go ahead and talk as I go along on it. And strike out the guitar, play another good jolly tune for you guys, and tell you some stories. This is one of the builds of the past right here. So I think it'd be a good idea. I could bring some of these builds of the past up on my live shows I got going on. And you guys gave me about 2 minutes. I need to get me a nice piece of cheesecloth where I can clean this up real good. I still chat with y'all, and I'll get something done at the same time. Here I is, folks. Yep. Yeah, I like cleaning these things up. So, you know, the funny thing about models like this, they require maintenance too, just like everything else. So you got to keep them clean. You don't keep them clean, they look dirty. And I was very amazed that I was this thing uncovered like that. Just used a nice trash can liner, just kind of lay it over, because they work really well, guys. And what's good about them is they'll cling, but you got to be very careful when you take them off. Otherwise, wrap out a prop and break a blade off. So that's not a good idea of storing anything. But it's something like this, it'll work just as well. I think I'm going to hang this up in here. Yep. This old classic monogram B29. Man, I'll tell you one darn thing. When this thing came out back in 1978, you couldn't keep them off the shelf. You couldn't keep the hobby shops stocked with these things. So I bought about a couple of them. This is one of them I built. I built this about 20 years ago. And this is a 1978 kit. Now looking pretty good now. Looks like an oxidized B29 felt in the sun too darn long. Yeah, it's pretty fun sometimes cleaning these things off. You know, they after you get them good clean like that, they come out brand new. They come out very, very, very new. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's all right. No big deal. No big deal. I didn't even notice it myself. Yeah, the B-29s, they were pressurized in 3 different compartments. The tail compartment was pressurized. And from here to the forward tunnel of the bow bay, that was all pressurized. And from the forward former up to the cockpit was all pressurized. So these guys had some pretty good protection on this thing. These things was a super bomber. And like I said earlier in the hangout, guys, I remember seeing these when I was a little kid, that they're actually still being used. Probably used during the Korean War. A lot of them were painted black underneath the fuselage and that's aluminum on top. And I had a lot of security around these B-29s because everybody was fascinated with an aircraft like this. I think it's pretty good for the night. I think it'll be a wrap on that. Oh, a little bit here. I can see a couple holidays must have missed right around that window right there. There we go. What about here? Yeah, I got it now. Yep. I think that about do it. Oh boy, I heard a beep a while ago. I guess we got somebody on the chat line here. We'll find out who it is, and I'll answer you live. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, now Mr. Bob Buskine. Yep, it's a big kit there, Sir Robert. That's it's a big airplane. I mean, it was the biggest. You know, this thing came out back in 1978. This was the biggest airplane in the world in plastic form at the time. There was none out there any bigger. And of course, it was new, and Monogram made it, and boy, they were really knocking out some good stuff back in the 70s. All the bombers they were putting out, they were putting out some good corner-inch scale stuff back in those days. And like every year, they made either 1 or 2 kits a year they were putting out. And they're selling like hotcakes. Like I said, these B-29s, you couldn't keep them. You couldn't keep them in hobby shop shelves. Every time you go there, you want to buy one. Hey, Frank, I sold the last one next week. And you got to tell the dealer, hold one for me, please. And that'll be it. Yeah, Robert, this is a big airplane. It takes up a lot of room. Wingspan's about 3 feet, 36 inches. This thing is big. And another one Monger made too is that big B-36 Peacemaker. That's a big piece of plastic too. Very big for 1/72 scale. I got another commentator on the chat line here. We'll see what this gentleman in masquerade has to say. And we'll get back here. Oh, good. Excellent. Yeah, that 1/72 scale Peacemaker. That's a very big kit. I got one of those. I think I bought it in 1980 when it first came out. That's a big, big airplane. God, it's huge. And I thought this thing was big. But, you know, for 1/48 scale, this B-29 is huge. I just forgot how big this thing is. And a very popular airplane indeed it is. I remember back in 1973, Monaco started making new kits. They had the, they came out with the TBD Devastator torpedo bomber. And that was a very welcome sight to have. Yeah, much better now. It's good and clean. Okay, we'll get back. Let's see. Wow, B-1 bomber. Yeah, the B-1 Rockwell B-1 bomber. That's Bob. That's a big kit too. 1/48 scale. Makes this thing look like a dwarf. Looks like a Piper Cub compared to that thing. I seen one of those built up at an air show, at a model show. It must have been about 30 years ago. It was all white. It was a beautiful looking thing. That thing was huge. I said, my God, the size of that thing is colossal. And like I say, you get these big boys like this B-29, for example, the B-8, the B-1 bomber, the B-36. You got to have some room. They'll blow you out of your room. I'm very fortunate I got a very huge size house. And I can be able to store these things. And I got places to put them. I got a place where I'm going to put this at when I get done. Yep. I'll tell you one thing. Happiness is having a good-sized, large stashed pile of kits. Because like I say, man, something could go wrong in this world. We will not be able to go out and buy anything no more. And we have it all here. We got another chat ring. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Ceiling space. I got crowded skies up here, but I still got plenty of space. Like I'm thinking about putting that B-29 right over here. This one here, I'm gonna hang this up over there, next to the doorway here, and you don't get much dust in here. I'm very lucky. I don't have the dust is kind of funny in this house. It's like talcum powder. You just go, you blow it, and that stuff is gone. It don't disturb the paint or nothing like that. Don't get impregnate itself inside the pores of the paint and cause dirt and grit to mess up your finish. It just blows off. Weird out here. It's okay with me if it blows off real well. You don't want to wipe it down. But this thing here is old. Like I said, when I first painted this thing was almost like that of Ace Hardware's aluminum paint that I use. It was so shiny you can actually see yourself shaving it, but not anymore. You can see the panel lines how it was done on this thing. It looks pretty real. I like the oil canning in the skins of this thing. It looks real. It really does. When you look at the top of the wings here, you can see how all the panel work is done on it. Looks like the real machine. I must have missed a spot back there. Now, these things here are very easy to break if you're not careful. The bigger they are, the easier they are to break because it's so big. It don't take much to topple over something like this. You just got to be careful, make sure it's there. Yep. That's why I'll have to go to work tomorrow, and I'll be off 3 days after that. Hope I feel a lot better tomorrow. And yes, sir. Yep. Let me tell you guys a story here. I went down to Hobbytown, USA. Hobby shop out here. There's only about 2 out here in Ohio. Smitty's is the best, but Smitty's a long ways to get down there. I usually patronize both stores, and I'm a good customer in both stores. And they give me deals there too. I went in there, and this guy came up. He had a kid with him. That little boy is probably about 5, 6 years old, I presume, and a young kid. And his mannerisms wasn't too keen, opposed to the way I was raised, and a lot of you fellows are raised. Like back when mom and dad didn't spoil the child, and they did not spare the rod either. You know, this kid needed an old-fashioned spank. And he had all these plastic gliders that were hanging up in the rack. So kid's father is talking to somebody on a cellular phone. So I can't help, listen to what they're saying because I'm standing right behind them. I got a handful of goodies. I need these to work on my B29. And this kid comes over, and his little boy comes over and grabs these gliders. These little wooden gliders. You slide them in. If you saw, you throw them, They had them around when I was a kid. And that kid takes one, he plays it, he breaks it, he hangs it right back up. His father sits there talking on the cell phone, looks right at him, what he just did. Then the kid grabs another one and breaks it too, hangs it back up there. Then he grabs another one and breaks it again. I said, now, wait a second, this is getting out of hand right here. So Frankie Day had to say something. So the guy that got the phone said, hey, buddy, you gonna leave with these 3 little gliders here for some poor fella come in here to buy for his kid and found them busted? And he goes, did he break them? I said, break them? You were watching him while he was breaking them. I said, that's $2 worth of models right there, man. That your little boy is destroyed. And the guy goes, well, I guess I have to pay for them. Yeah, that'd be the right thing to do, sir. And I told him, so doggone, these kids nowadays, I tell you, guys, I know I'm getting old. I'm an old man, but like I say, no matter how old you are, if you're raised to know right from wrong, and have parents that teach you some kind of family values or something like that, I mean, you can see the difference between the right way of being raised and the negative way of being raised. Because a lot of these kids nowadays, mom and dad just don't seem to get it. I mean, they just give money all the time and do what they please. Not me. That's not my children, so I got no business of. We all spoil our kids. I spoil my children very much too, but I make sure that they give back in return. Like chores, work around the house, help mom out, do this, do that. Like the way I was raised, like the way you fellas are raised too, you know. You're to keep by sweat on the brow. Want this B29? You got to work for it. I'm not going to buy it for you. I'll buy it for you after you work for it. Boy, this cough is getting annoying. Oh, another charm on the chat line. Let's see if there's who's next here. Yeah, Lucky 11. Yeah. Had a buddy of mine had one of those. I think he got that back in the 90s. 92, 93. His name was Douglas Kershaw. He had one of those monogram 148 scale B29s. What he did, he put electric motors inside them. Each one of these motors turned. Each one of these propellers turned. He had a little switchboard right there. And he turned on one turn on, one turn on, one turn on, one turn on. He had some kind of an AC adapter hooked up to all the power systems. He had it cleverly done, you know. This thing is big enough to do all that stuff. It really is, fellas. With LEDs they have nowadays, and all these little voice things they got, engine, all these small chips. My God, could make this thing do everything but fly. And they had the wiring was going right behind the main landing gear struts. He had two sets of wires running parallel on the right side and the left side of the wings, and it was sitting on a tarmac. And all I do is hit one switch, and the power is turned, and the other one turns. Very neat. He won him a prize. I think he got the second place on that deal. But it was a showstopper. You can't help seeing that big old B29 with them 4 fans turning. Huge. Man. Yep. You can do anything now, these electronics. Anything. Well, this thing is clean. Yep. Yeah, that was the end of that story. I couldn't believe that little boy right there. He wanted his dad's attention, but he started breaking those little gliders. My God, that's. I said, man, somebody's going to buy those, and I'm going to be very, very displeased when they find out that they broke something's busted. And he paid for them. You know, that's only the right thing to do, guys. I got a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna be starting to. Some of the bills will be going down. I got a lot of bills here. But tomorrow I gotta do some cleanup work around here. Get this on the bench all squared away. Get Vulcan prepared for the final reveal. Yep. So had a couple of big old C-17 Glowmasters flew over the house the other day, really low. And I guess they're either deployment or embarking. But you see a lot of those fly around all the time out here because Wright Pat Air Force Base is only about a good 13, 14 miles from my house. And I go there all the time just for my commissary goods and my PX needs and stuff like that. PX or the commissary. I do all my grocery shopping there. They only got one grocery chain here in Ohio. It's called Kroger's, Krogers. That store is one big jip. every time I go in that place, something goes up a dollar, a dollar, a dollar, a dollar. It's getting terrible. I remember my grandpa told me one time when I was a kid. I never understood what he was talking about, but I do now. It took all those years for that little remembrance what I heard from my grandpa is beveled in my mind all that time. When I was a little kid, I remember my grandpa when he says, "Son, time to get my age." He goes, "You better go down there to a Western Auto store or Sears and Roebuck and buy yourself a wheelbarrow." I got to think, buy a wheelbarrow. Why the heck am I want to buy a wheelbarrow for? So I was hearing this in my mind. I was saying this in my mind while he was explaining things to me. He says, one of these days, you're going to take that wheelbarrow and go to the grocery store loaded full of money, like you do dirt. You'll take that much money to get yourself a loaf of bread. And well, you know, I didn't understand that, but I do understand it very, very well now. Price of groceries is going up every day. It's depressing, terrible. You used to eat in this country, you can't eat no more. All I know is all those things, this country's not right. And something's changed. It's just not right. Whole different world. Man, I tell you, it's a whole different world. Can you imagine guys being in a coma for about 40 years? And you wake up and you look around and you find out all your relatives and parents are all deceased. And you live in a world like this today. Oh man, I tell the guy, pull the plug on you really quick, get me out of here. I couldn't do it. And so we all got to adapt and overcome and to be able to subside and exist. So we got to put up with it. Things will level out. There's a lot of things just ain't right in this country. It will get squared away. Personally, I think we got too big too quickly. That's called getting too big for your pants. When you get too big for your britches, things could happen. Yep. So right now I got even kale between that B29 and that Vulcan. It's drying right now. I can't do nothing until tomorrow on the Vulcan. And I'm going to give it an extra day for that paint to cure on the B29. And I got the AD Sky Raider coming up. Here, 2 more chimes on the chat window. I'm going to see what's going on now. That's why I can communicate with you fellas. Oh, yeah. Beautiful job, Sir Robert. Beautiful job. That's the same B29 Super Fortress that my buddy had. And beautiful job. I love that B29. It's a beautiful looking airplane. I like those de-icer boots you got alongside the wings. This tier don't call for it. The earlier Super Fortress, they had the de-icer boots on like that, but with climates like that out there by Tinian and Guam and Saipan and all through there, wasn't very much need for anti de-icing boots. So they're kept off. And yep. Beautiful job, sir. You did your B29. That's a good job, Robert. Now you need a nice little diorama of that thing. It looked real nice. I tell you, that's a beautiful kit. I look at it like this, is my God, you know, $12 worth of plastic back in the days was not $12 was a lot of money in a way, but not anymore. It ain't. I imagine $12 today is about 120 $12 37, 39 years ago. Probably has the value of 200 of a value of $120 today. People go, my God. I say, yep. Every time they prep money, the value of it goes down. If it keeps going down, you're busted. And back in those days, like, of course, we all know back then, you know, back in the 70s and 60s, 50s, and 40s, everything for $1 you could buy. You could buy bubble gum for a penny. There's penny candy. You got a bag of chips for a nickel. You got a Coke for a dime. When I was a very little pipsqueak, I used to go to the movie theater for 25 cents. I think it cost a dime to watch the movie. 5 cents for popcorn. 5 cents for drinking for a Coke. You had 5 cents left. We left the movie theater. You went to your favorite drugstore, bought a bunch of candy, and came home. Very happy camper. Okay, I got 6 viewers now. God bless you guys. Thank you for hanging in on Frankie Day Show. We're going to go back to the chat line and see who's shaking on the chat. Yep, that's what it was, Bob. Yeah, it probably was. Late 70s. Yep. They had some nice. I like the B-29 nose art that they had on them. I think this one's Humpin' Honey. Yeah, figure out. Yeah, right there. Yep. Humpin' Honey. That's probably out of, this is from Chengdu, China. Karachi, all through there. They were the closest place at the time where they can fly to attack Japan. As far as they got in Japan was the coast of Japan. When they got to the coast a little bit, dropped their bombs, turned around, and came back to Chengdu, Calcutta, or Karachi. Then they found out where the island hopping campaign, Iwo Jima, Saipan, Guam, Tinian, all through there. The B-29 had a long range. He could fly all the way from those islands, all the way deep into Japan, drop his arsenal, and come back to the islands. And they were very... we had to have a lot of runway to get these things off the ground because the B-29 back had to have a runway at least 2,000 feet or more. Unlike the Liberator and the Flying Fortress, they had a heck of a runway to be able to get to rotate, get off the ground. And they tested with the atomic bomb, and they found out it was a really heavy bomb. So they're practicing takeoffs from Tinian and also Iwo Jima a couple times too, practicing takeoffs on those things, and especially around Iwo Jima. It's like you see Iwo Jima right there. It's like a flat rock. They got Mount Suribachi up down here. That comes off. The airport's inside. Goes straight out. That puts you in mind of an aircraft carrier. You don't get these things off the ground. When you run out of the runway, you just run off. You'll just eventually just fall into the sea and crash. So you got to make quite sure that you're nice and you're good and airborne, and you're clear. You pull up your undercarriage, you're ready to go. Yep. I think it's about jolly tune time, guys. I'm trying to figure out what I can play for you. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll play something for you here. Here's a little jolly tune I'll play for you guys. And doing a little Dwayne Eddy for you guys. A little song called 40 Miles of Bad Road. Just you guys out there. And we'll have some more fun. Miles of Bad Road. Check the chat line. See who's there. See what's shaking. Okay, guys. We'll see what's on the chat line. We'll see what's shaking on here, fellas. Okay. Walk, Don't Run. Glad you asked, Bob. For the next jolly tune, I'll play that song just for you, dear sir. Do it the Venture style. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll pick that old Jazz Master and Jaguar guitar. Kind of spruces up the show a little bit. And they say music soothes the wild beast. Let me tell you guys a story. Let's go back about 40 years ago. Well, I got out of the Navy. My That was right before I got out of the Navy. And before I got out, it was about a year or two before I got out. And I remember one time that my ex-wife, Brenda, she passed on me. She passed away about 18 years ago. And we've been together about 30 years. And she wanted to go to Ohio, see her mother and father. Wanted to spend Christmas. And I said, well, okay, we'll go. So it took us about 4 days. We took old Route 66. It used to be Interstate 40. And my wife, I was driving a Dodge, a 1975 Dodge Tradesman 100. Had a big old 318 engine in it. It was one of the first vans, we call them conversion vans. Because back in the 70s, vans were very popular. They had tables back there. This thing had everything. It had a sink, everything in it. Everything but a toilet. And back of the van, we had a table right there. Take a table, you fold it up. You had a couch right there where you sat on. You fold that couch up, made a beautiful looking bed. And there's also me and the wife stayed in that bed right there when we went to sleep at night. I was driving. We drove 700 miles from my house. It was Albuquerque, New Mexico. We ended up there. They had a little rest place up there where you can pull in at. You look down like that, you can see the whole city of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And next, we were headed into Arizona. So, in the evening in Arizona, we're going right through, I believe it was one of the first, when you go right into Williams, Arizona. Yeah. Williams. And as you go further west 66, you go to the Mojave Desert out there. So there's a little area out there that had a bunch of Joshua trees out there. All along the desert plains out there. And Brenda, she always wanted to park in the desert and go to sleep at night, you know, because she liked to watch these old science fiction movies, you know, in the desert like that. I said, well, we'll go sleep out here. We got to watch out for critters because you got a lot of coyotes and everything out here, so you got to be careful. We pull off the side of the road. There's a lot of places out there back in those days. You can pull over the side of the road out there and park out there next to a Joshua tree. And people out there camped out there years back. But I don't know if you do it nowadays. It's probably you can't do it anymore. And my wife, Brenda goes, Frank, look at up there in the sky up there. Look where? I said, boy, there's a lot of stars up there. It's so beautiful, like all these stars shining. They're giving us a show for free, aren't they? Excuse me, guys. This cough is annoying. It says that's not starlights. It's the light over there, that big old red and yellow and blue light. I looked up, looked around, and I saw it. I said, yeah, right. You're right, Ruth. Say, Frankie, what do you think it could be? I says, I don't know. And he said, Brenda, could be anything. It could be because you live out here by Area 51 out there, all through Albuquerque, all the Mexico, and all through here, New Mexico, all through there where they tested experimental aircraft and stuff. That's probably an experimental aircraft out there, maybe. And you know something? I kept looking at it. I said, well, find out for sure and get a pair of binoculars. So I got a pair of binoculars and I looked up and I focused on it. I looked at it and that thing looked like a jello mold. It was round. I said, my God. I said, will you look at it, Brendan, tell me what you think it looks like? I said, Frank, that looks like a jello mold. It's round. That's a flying saucer. I said, it could be. I said, it could be a flying saucer. I don't know. Could be anything. That's the way to believe it could be some kind of a test vehicle that they're that the government's testing out to see it's probably up there. And we're seeing it. Well, I was going to come down here in Homer, so I ain't worried about it. So we got back, and she told that story earlier. Yeah, people think we're nuts, but I says, no, you'd be surprised. You see out there in open plains, out in the deserts. There's so much open sky out there. Nothing but flatlands anyway. So much out there, you know. That's in that tune. And that was a crazy time. Yep. Yeah, I can remember years ago when I was a kid growing up, we used to excuse me, guys. It's not a cough. We had this this guy one time, he's a next door neighbor of mine. He had this beautiful looking radio controlled boat. It was like a speedboat. Yeah. It was shaped like this. It came this way and like that. It looked like something. It was back in the 1950s. When I was a teenager back then. And they had, this guy had to do a beautiful job. The thing was all natural wood color. He had it varnished. And man, that thing would move. And actually, it was all petrol, it was all fuel. The gas motor in it. Had a propeller probably about 3 or 4 inch prop. And we had a thing going. It was no radio control back in the days. He had that thing trimmed so it can make circles. And he went out there and he took that boat out, and that thing was just flying. Then he had a gaggle of geese out there. Remember that? Well, that boat ran out of fuel and was out there with a gaggle of geese. Now, when geese have baby goslings, little small baby geese, the goslings you call them. I mean, the father, which is the gander, he's very, very protective. He's like man of the house, like us. I mean, one thing about geese, they're like a dove. They mate for life. I mean, they can't live with each other without each other, and they raise their young, and that's it. And the male goose, which is the gander, the father, he always protected him, the mother, and the baby gosling. And that guy's little boat was stranded out there. He goes, oh my God. I hope that thing will tear up my darn boat, because they'll do that. And it did too. That gander went over there and grabbed that boat, just pecking at it like that. And finally got done pecking at it, and the guy got his boat back, and I guess the wind kind of blew it back to the shore, and he got it back. And well, the whole side of that boat was all, you can see where its bill, where he was trying to attack it, and he's marred up pretty good. But them things are, like I say, we got a lot of geese out here in Ohio. We got these Canadian geese, you call them. And these geese are like Peking geese. They're white. They had a big old hump on their bills like this. But out here they get Canadian geese, and they're just as mean too out there. So we got sailboat clubs out here. We sail at the Metro Pond over here called Deer Meadow Run. That's where we have a sailboat races out there all the time. They got a lot of geese out there that live out there, that territorial, that stay in the area out there. If you got any boats out there, well, they should get there young like that. You gotta be very careful. They'll dismast that sailboat in no time. So you gotta be careful, those devils. Here's another story I'd like to tell you guys. This time it's RC airplanes. They had an RC group out in Dayton, Ohio. It was called Works. Western Ohio Recreational Airplane Club or something like that. And they used to have a runway, the airport, where they flew all the rate control planes up there right up Myers-Briggs Soldier Home Road, right behind the cornfield out there. There was an airstrip they made out of there, out of tarmac out there, and they flew the airplanes back and forth. And Sunday they had the World War I fly-in day, and I had a VK kit. I think it's 1/6 scale of a Newport 17C. Wingspan's 54 inches. I covered with silk and covered with Aerogloss Civil Area aluminum paint. It was Nungesser's Newport. I used 1917, the Escadrille. And I followed to the Escadrille. And that was radio control. Had a Fox 45 motor in it with a 4-channel. Yeah, for top of 4-channel unit, I had that thing. I flew it. And I had a buddy of mine had an Albatross D5. It was all red. I think it was Goring's ship, because Goring had two of them. He had a white one and he had a red one. It was the Flying Circus. And they got a lot of hawks out there. Well, out in Ohio, there's a lot of cornfields out there. They got a lot of rodents out there and rats and stuff out there. They got groundhogs, everything. They got a lot of red-tailed hawks out in Ohio. Ohio's full of hawks out here. Every day I see them flying. I see sparrow hawks, little small fellows, about almost size of a pigeon, meaner than hell. And you get your big red-tailed hawks they have out here. And my buddy, who's Andy Martin, that was his name. He owned the Hobby Center in North Main Street, Dayton, Ohio. I used to go to his hobby shop all the time, buy stuff from him. And he had his Albatross D5 he brought out. And he was flying it, and he got in the way of a territorial hawk. And Andy Martin is a very skilled radio control pilot. He can do he can do things with that airplane like a lot of skilled RC pilots out there can't do, because this guy has experience. And I mean to tell you, he flew that Albatross just like a World War I pilot would fly that thing to get away from that hawk. Because that hawk started to come down like that, pulled back its wings, was coming back and swooping at it. He was doing barrel rolls, inside rolls, doing barrel rolls. And that hawk was doing the same thing he was. Unbelievable. I have never seen a bird that has avionics like that. They can do something like that with an airplane. I said, Andy, only way you can get this thing, only way to get away from the hawk is you get that thing that close to the ground, close to us. And his other words, man, that thing is going to, you get a hold of that thing and tear that thing apart. I mean, he'll crash you. And boy, he was really nervous and everything. And I don't blame the guy. I thought it was, he brought down low to the ground. He started bringing it in close to the ground, and the hawk just took off and flew. That was unbelievable to see something like that fly, see a bird do that. So I imagine birds, well, they build airplanes from birds, so they're designed from birds, and they got the trailing edges on the wings too. They can pull them back, But that thing was just going shoo, like, hey, it had its wings pulled back, talons like this, ready to grasp that thing. And Andy Martin did a snap roll, did a snap S, came back down, did a barrel roll trying to get away from that thing. And that bird, every flight maneuverability that he was doing with that airplane, that bird was doing the same thing. It was copying the aerodynamics that he was applying on that Albatross D5. Unbelievable. And we got back in one piece. I said, I don't want to go up. Not with that bird around. There's got to be some way getting rid of these goddamn hawks out here. There isn't by that territorial birds. As long as that cornfield's out there, they'll be there, because that's where all these rodents hide at, inside those cornfields. Because we got a lot of groundhog out here, and a lot of rabbits and moles. And those hawks, that's their favorite food. So when you guys flying your RC airplanes out there, fellas, stay away from hawks, because they can really do some damage. They'll get a hold of you. They're a bird to reckon with. Okay. Check the chat board and see what's going on. Come back to yours truly here. Yep. I'll tell you, on YouTube, I should miss old Chris and Alex so I can know what those two fellas are up to. I think I know what they're up to. I think they're in the radio control. They joined the field of RC, and a lot of those guys that get an RC like that, they won't come back to plastic for a while. It's a whole different challenge. To them, it's get away from these things. But somehow, these last longer than the radio control planes do. You got to be very careful flying those things, guys. A lot of people, you got to be experienced. I knew a guy one time that tried to fly one of those ones. I said, man, you got to get an RC pilot, buddy. Somebody's got to train you to fly that thing. Because you know something, you're flying it out of that receiver right there. You're not inside that airplane like behind the car. You know what to do and stuff. Everything is done on that little transmitter right there, that receiver. And well, let me tell you still a story. So let's talk about RC. Again, this happened 35 years ago. And now it works. Andy Martin had his Sterling kit of the Fokker D-7 he likes those old German World War I airplanes. The only World War I airplane I have in radio control is that Newport 17C at Nungesser's Newport by VK Model Aircraft Company. And I think it's scale had spoke tires and everything. It's hanging down my basement. And damn. And he had we're out there flying. And I flew for about a half an hour, about mine in. Says, okay, I'm clear. Took my flag off my aerial, put it on top of the rack there, because when you get done flying, you got to take your numbers, put them on top of the rack so I know what frequency you're on. And the guys grab theirs and hook it up, and they go out and fly. Yeah, he flew his, came back in. I think he was in the air for about 10 minutes, brought back in to do some trimming on it. And by that time, this guy comes out. He drives this big old, huge Econoline 150 van. Some big shot guy. Had his wife and his kids with him. And everybody knows who everybody is. It's like on YouTube, you know. We're all family here. We all know each other, and we get along very well. We know each other. Well, we don't know who this guy was. I'm like, who is this guy? I've never seen him before in my life. Is he a member? I said, I don't know, Andy. I said, the only way to know for sure to go ask him. So what's he doing now? I said, I don't know. He's opened up the back of that van. He's going to fly something. And we stopped. He stopped. And about four of us are sitting there watching him. He had one of those Byron's original, B-Y-R-O-N, Byron, fiberglass. They came out back in the very, very early 1980s. I think they got started about late 70s. They all started out. They had all these fiberglass. They even made the big B-29 too, 12-foot wingspan job. They made that. They made the P-47 Thunderbolt, the B-25, the P-40 Flying Tiger, the AT-6 Texan. And then they had a bunch that they made too, all by originals. And this was a P-47D Thunderbolt. And it was painted all olive drab with a checkered nose with neutral gray in the bottom. The core of that wing was probably about a good 27 or 28 inches. It's big. The wingspan of that thing is probably a good 10 feet. Swinging the prop about 20 inches. You have a big Zona 90 engine in it. 7 channels, retracts, flaps, bombs, Everything. That thing did everything like that real airplane did, except one thing: shooting bullets. He brought that thing out. He seemed like he knew what he was doing, but put it together and everything. So Andy says, "Hey, Frank, why don't you go there and ask that guy?" I said, "I'll go there and see what's going on. I'll ask him. I'll go there and ask him, hey, how you doing? Pretty good." He says, are you a member? Are you a member here? We never seen you before." I said, "No, I'm not a member." So you ain't supposed to fly here if you're not a member. "Well, who says so?" "That man over there is. He's the president of Works. He's the president and the secretary, everything, one pair of pants." "Do you have an AMA license?" He goes, "Nope, I don't have none of that stuff." So I went over there and walked over and told Andy. I said, "Oh, we got a good one down there. We got a real nice one right here." And he goes, "What do you say?" He says, "He's not a member." And he says, "You told me he couldn't fly." I said, "I told him he couldn't fly. You got smart with me." So I'll go there and see what's going on. So Andy went there to ask him, gave him the same thing. "Yeah, I don't want to fight this guy, Frankie." Says, "Just let his ignorance pay off. You'll learn." And boy, did it ever, guys. This thing was a beautiful airplane, guys. What happened was this guy's got some money, and he bought this airplane off this guy. At that time, I'd say with all the radio, the airplane, everything in it, you're looking anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 with an airplane. That was a lot of money back in those days. A lot of money. Even today, it's a lot of money. But those engines were, that big old Zona 90 is a $1,400 motor right there. And plus all the servos got in there, and the unit he uses. He had a craft unit he was using. That thing wasn't cheap. Well, somebody built it and he sold it and he bought it off this guy. He was over there playing with like that with the receiver. He wouldn't take a range check. He wouldn't check and force controls. As far as this guy knew how to do, he knew how to start it up. He had one electric starter. You stick up to this 12-volt starter, hook up to your flight box. I got one of my flight boxes over here. Hook up the studio prop, it'll start up. Then you control your throttle on your transmitter. And mostly you stand behind. You straddle your legs with a fuselage between your legs and your back of your legs. You got the stabilizers. When the plane pulls, it's like you work like a stooge. You're standing up, throttling it up and everything else, and checking everything else, because those things, it's like a real airplane. You got to make sure this thing is up, everything is functioning, everything is A-OK before it goes up. Because model airplanes and real airplanes got the same thing in common. When they crash just alike. And believe you me, you want to crash something like that. Well, this darn fool took the thing up. He didn't put the antenna up. It lost range. That thing was straight up, and the barrel roll came down, and bam, crashed in the cornfield. And he took that darn transmitter and just threw it on the ground. Went over there, looked at this airplane, grabbed a few things out of it, put in his van, and just took off, got in the van, loaded up, using foul, improper language from his children and his wife, which is something I would never do, which I know all you guys wouldn't do. That guy had more, put this way, more dollars than cents. More dollars than cents. Okay, guys, this thing is Jolly Tune time right now. There's a little song called Walk Don't Run for Mr. Bob Busking. You want to hear a little Walk Don't Run. Don't Run. 1960. Jolly Good Tune by the Ventures. That put them on the charts for a long, long time and gained them fame. The Mighty Ventures. They were a very popular group one time, and I think they still are. They're still playing together. I think they lost a couple of members. Mel Taylor, the drummer, he was gone. I think Bob Vogle's gone. And Don Wilson and Noak Edwards, only two left of the Ventures. And they too far behind their comrades. And a wonderful group they were. They all come from Washington State, and they are inspired the surfing world and everything else. Okay, we'll check the chat board here. Let's see what's shaking on the dark side of the moon. There you go. I'm glad you like that, Sir Robert. Just for you, sir. I can play much anything on that guitar right there. I've been playing music when I was about 3 or 4 years old. And that's funny about all of us modelers. We all got other talents we do besides building models. And I guess that's being an artist, I guess. I don't know. But wherever it is, it's something I enjoy very much. I love playing guitar. I love building these things. I love being here on YouTube with you guys and hang out for his delightful Sunday night. And we got another couple of jolly tunes going on in a few minutes here. Yeah, the vocal's getting there. I think I'd be able to pick up a little bit of it very gently and carefully. I'll make sure. Ah, here we go. I got an extra helper here. Where's that? There it is. Gotta give him 1 second. I'll give you a sneak preview of the Vulcan. There it is right there, guys. All white. So I'm going to let this thing dry. It should be ready for the final build tomorrow. Still a little tacky. I don't want to touch it with tacky because you got to make sure it's aroma free and dry. Okay, we'll check. Models and guitars. Yep, that's where the money goes. But you know, some guys, it's just it's part of enjoying life. It's something that we all like to do, you know, and the main thing is, my father told me a long time ago, guys, about having something to show for your money and things, you know. And most of us do got things to show for our money. But for guys, for example, where I work at, where people spend money in these places where they eat out all the time. And they do it day in and day out. I mean, you know, the credit card debt they rack up in the process of doing all that. And like I told my wife, says, Ruth, the time they get my age or a little younger, these people are not going to have nothing to show for their money. Now, like right now, like all of us guys, we all got something to show for our money. It's all posted on YouTube. Speed 29, stash of models, music instruments, my home, everything's paid for cash. And got something to show for your money. And there's a lot of people out there who don't have nothing to show for their money. They're going to have a lot of regrets before it's said, done, and over with. But everybody has their way of doing things, so that's the way it is. So if this is the way they like to enjoy life, they think, so be it. And me, I had good times too, guys. But, you know, I just, I budget my money a lot. I make sure I don't want to spend too much here and there because I don't want to regret it later on knowing I got to pay it back. And yeah, but what kind of day it'll be tomorrow for Monday? The beginning start of a new week. And weather's starting to turn out here in Ohio land. Starting to get a little chillier. And a lot of people are preparing for winter and stuff, and I am one of them. I got a lot of work to do before I get this winter run. I got to get my yard back in shape again. I got to get the grass cut. All these blasted leaves falling down. I got to mow over them with my riding mower, get them all done, get them all mulched up. And I got some out there the other day pruning trees, everything like that. I got a big pile of brush out in the backyard. So I'm going to go ahead and burn those up. I got a big incinerator in my backyard out there. And I burn a lot of boxes, everything out there in the backyard. One thing good about Ohio, you can burn all you want to out there, as long as it's managed. You got some kind of a fire hose out there, something like that, to extinguish it in case it gets out of hand. And the best way to fire is, guys, it's like a child. Don't turn your back on it and leave it uncontrolled, because it'll get to you. Like when I work at, I got a hold of my boss. Talk about fires. I was up in the back out there smoking a cigar, taking a break. I looked up, you got one of those exhaust fans where they're burning burgers over the grill. The fire smoke was up to the fan. And I saw fire come out of there one day. I said, Todd, you're going to have problems. He goes, what do you mean? Like, you're going to have a fire in this place, buddy. You need to get out there and get those fan blowers all cleaned out, get all that creosote out of there. And you probably got all those filters along there too, all clogged up full of grease. Once all that stuff comes back on your fire like that, you burn this place right down to the ground. And everybody at it. And so I guess he's kind of listening to me. He got hood cleaners cleaning all that up. I told him every years ago, every Monday and Tuesday on the week, you used to take those filters up and run to the dishwasher. It gets rid of all the goddamn grease. You put it back up. You don't let that grease build up like that. It can cause a grease fire. And most restaurants burn down because of grease fires. And they can get out of hand if you don't have it, get them properly cleaned. So like anything, you got to have maintenance on it. Yep. La 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 la. About 12:30. Got this beach one pretty well cleaned up. What's that big bird this thing is? They got one of these on the Air Force Base Museum. It's the boxcar. It's one that dropped the second bomb in Nagasaki. Fred Box boxcar. It had a recording of the bomb being dropped from the B-29. They got it saved. And they got an expedition booth right there next to that B-29. You go in there, you stick your head down this little rubber thing, what they did in this. You look at that bomb, you can see when the bomb dropped, the plane broke away. As it broke away, you can see the detonation of the bomb when it went up. Very, very, wow, it's very scary. Being aboard something like this, dropping a bomb on the Japanese like that back then. A lot of them felt pretty bad about that. Yeah, let's check on the chat. Okay. Good night, Sir Robert. Take care, buddy. Get some good sleep, sir. Thank you very much, Sir Robert, for commenting in the chat. So that's how it's going to work, guys, on this chat. So those of you who are still viewing it now, get on Facebook, get a chat thing going up, and I can answer you back from there. Just like I did with Mr. Robert Buskin. Good night, Robert. Thank you very much, dear sir. You're a true friend. A very wonderful man, Mr. Robert Buskin is. He gave me a care package one time. He sent me some decals and a F4S Wildcats for my escort carrier Princeton, and a couple of vacuum form kits and such. Got some good people out there, guys. We have a wonderful community right here, YouTube land. We're like a family, you know. We get along quite well. And it's wonderful. It's very wonderful. Yes, indeed. Yep. Well, I think, fellas, about another 15 minutes now, we're going to end the hangout. A lot of you guys have to go to bed. Got work tomorrow. I got to work tomorrow, too. Got to get the Victor or get the Vulcan already. And find a good place to hang up this beautiful B-29 I have here. And get a place to hang her up. Yep. La ba 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 da. Yep. I got a feeling we'll have a good week this week, guys. Things are coming really good for us. I have 2 of these bills done this week. That leaves this AD Sky Reader got working on over here. Probably bring something else out. But I got to get shaking on that Tiffy. I'm falling way behind on our group build. On our beautiful Sniffy Tiffy group build with Mr. Martin Lammett and myself and a host of others. And Frankie Day is getting behind. I got to catch up. So I think it'd be a good idea once I finish up that Super Fort and that Abra Vulcan. I'll hop around the Tiffy a while, spend a couple good days on that, get some videos and some pictures posted on that. And spend too much time in these builds right here. Now I'll clean this up, and this thing's ready to hang up. I'm glad. And yep. So I'll get my brother back here. We'll get this security thing take care of on the computer here. We'll have the chat and everything right on here, and it'll be okay. Now, since I got the shroud behind me over here, it's really blocked stuff out. Keeps the light off me like that. I like that. So that makes life a little better. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to give this hangout a wrap tonight. I know a lot of you fellas are getting tired, and I'm getting tired too. And we're going to play one more song, and we'll call it a night. And tomorrow will be the final reveal for the Abra Vulcan. little song called Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy, just for you guys. Okay, fellas, I'd like to thank everybody for your wonderful time that you spent here with me on this hangout for Sunday night. And we're going to try to get these hangouts done on a Friday night. When I get off work, I was just too bushed last Friday and Saturday. And I think it was time I went to bed and everything and got some good rest and everything. And so I think the next hangout is going to be this Friday. I had the Frankie Day Show back then. By the time we should have the chat board working up here, have an encoder ready to roll, and hopefully get rid of this nauseating cough I got going on here. Okay, for the 3 remaining viewers on here, I'd like to thank each one of you guys very much. I'm very honored each one of you guys for spending time to me this evening on this beautiful Sunday, and for the Frankie Day Show. And so stay tuned tomorrow for the final reveal on my Airfix 1/72 scale Avro Vulcan bomber, a 617 Squadron of the year of 1963, the Blue Steel missile, and the V bomber. And that'll be it. God bless you guys. Thank you very much. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night, fellas. God bless you guys.